Hello and welcome to this video exploring three of the commonest anti-dandruff shampoos on the market today: Head & Shoulders, Ketoconazole and Coal Tar. In the video we'll cover the dandruff process, how the active ingredients in each of these shampoos works, and what we know about how effective they are relative to one another, the dandruff process. Before we get into how the anti-dandruff shampoos available today work and which is most effective, we have to understand the dandruff process to better understand our possible lines of attack. Firstly, dandruff is a common issue affecting half the adult world, with men more susceptible than women. But what's going on here? Well, what we have is a particular family of yeast or funguses called Malassea that are commonly found on our heads, with one study finding the average human head populated with 10 million individual members of just the Malassea globosa species of yeast. These Malassea species produce lipases, or fat-digesting enzymes, that break down sebum, which is a naturally secreted oil that waterproofs and nourishes our skin and hair. The lipases produce oleic acid, which passes back through the top layer of the skin and provokes a local immune reaction that causes itchiness, redness, and a disruption of the normal process of gradual shedding of small, unbound skin cells, but not clustering in large enough flakes to be visible. Instead, this immune response to the oleic acid causes skin shedding to occur at a faster rate, and the extra shed skin cells are glued together into visible flakes. A side note, the rate of production of sebum is ramped up by testosterone, hence men are more commonly affected than women. And so we have our three potential targets for anti-dandruff treatment. 1. Attack the Malassea yeast populations. 2. Soothe and quell the inflammation. 3. Melt down and wash away the flakes. And a crucial point to make here is that the Malassea yeast cells are pretty much perfectly adapted for life on our scalps and can colonize our hair follicles, so complete decolonization and hence permanent cure is near enough impossible. So this is the big cheese of the anti-dandruff agency, Head & Shoulders by Procter & Gamble. Interestingly, depending on where you're buying it, you get a different active ingredient: Zinc pyrithione in the USA and piroctone olamine almost everywhere else, since the EU banned zinc pyrithione on environmental grounds. Both of these active ingredients have been shown, when used consistently over 4 weeks, to be far more effective than placebo shampoos. But which is better, and who's getting the raw deal here? Well, unfortunately, there are only 2 studies pitting zinc pyrithione against piroctone olamine, and these were both unfair fights, with the piroctone olamine both times being given a sidekick agent, once being paired with salicylic acid and once being paired with an antifungal called clobemasol. Now, both times these shampoos yielded slightly better scalp results than the zinc pyrithione shampoo, but neither times was it an accurate comparison of the active ingredients in this particular product. The take home here is that they both essentially work as Malassea contraceptives, pausing replication, though not through sex in the case of these yeast, so long as you're using the product regularly. Then, when you stop using the product, the Malassea keeps replicating. It's pretty much a perfect business model for the companies pumping them out, but it's far from perfect for us, the consumer. The question is, can we do better? Here we have Ketoconazole. It's an antifungal medication that is also sometimes prescribed orally for severe fungal infections elsewhere in the body. It works by blocking the conversion of one plant sterol into another, so it leads to cell wall instability, with ketoconazole eventually causing cell death through rupturing of unstable cell walls. At high doses, there are concerns about it blocking testosterone receptors, so here it is only applied in small quantities once or twice a week directly to the scalp, and it works well, outcompeting zinc pyrithione in the trial linked below. Next is Coal Tar, a less popular but still readily available option at most supermarkets where I live. The first thing to say is that this shampoo doesn't attack the Malassea implicated in dandruff. Instead, it seems to work by reducing inflammation and slowing the rate of skin shedding. So it can help you get a handle on the visible signs of dandruff without addressing the root cause. And importantly, it's been shown in comparison trials against both zinc pyrithione and ketoconazole to be less effective than both. Again, links down below. What about other shampoos? Well, salicylic acid is less effective than everything we've spoken about so far, and its mechanism of action is to break apart the skin flakes, so it's often used in addition rather than instead of the above products. And selenium sulfide. This one actually does really well, and in studies, again linked down below, is found to be as effective as ketoconazole. However, I've not gone into further detail because you can't buy it near me. So in summary, ketoconazole and selenium sulfide are the good stuff. They're the most effective and have the longest remission rates. Malassea yeasts are practically impossible to clear, so dandruff and the subsequent need for anti-dandruff shampoos are going to be with you and me long term. And lastly, coal tar is less effective than all the other options available and comes with a funny smell. That's all for today's video. Thank you for watching.